Okay, so let's be honest here. Goalies, if you're going to get hurt, it's going to be due to a lack of flexibility most times. Sometimes you get dinged in the head, but for the most part, it's going to be your hips, groin, or knees. And so I'm going to show you guys some stretches that kind of a routine you can do every single day at home. Something I do every day. Even when I played other sports, I did every day. And it's going to keep your flexibility, but loosen your hips, loosen your groin, so that when you're moving post to post, you can have proper post positioning, you can move out of it smoothly, and most of all, you can reduce the risk of injury, which is the most important part. If you can't play, you can't do any of this. This is going to target all lower body, upper body. I can do in a different video if you want, but it's not the focus here. So first one though is nice and easy. I like it to start because it's easy. And so it's just a sumo. And so this one, you want to be as far back on your heels as you can, but with good posture. I don't want to be like this, doing it with my heels flat on the ground. I want to be able to have my shoulders back straight, like this still. Well, or maybe not like that. And if you can't get all the way back on your heels, that's fine. If it means you have to stay more in a catcher squat type of thing, that's fine. This is to get you more flexible anyways. And so what I'm going to do is just force my knees out with my elbows, and you should feel that stretch in the back part of your groin. Now from this one, you can transition it easily into the one on the ground, where now you are rocking onto your toes purposely and pushing your knees out with your elbows. Now that one you should feel more in the front part of your groin. So with those two right there, you've tackled inside, outside of your groin. Next one for groin, that is the one that sucks probably the most, is basically practicing going into the splits, but a stretch. You'll see what I mean. And so you can get as wide as you can. And personally, what I like to do is I like to walk it backwards so I can get even a little bit further. I don't know if you could tell that my stance got wider as I went back. And walk it back forward. Now I'm going to go to each side and hold it for 10-20 seconds. This one you want to do as long as you can. But something I want you to notice is that I don't have a hand on the ground or anything like that. I'm not leaning forward. I'm staying upright. Both sides. And that's because if I am moving one way, if I'm, say, sliding, stretching this pad out, I don't want to be all forward. I want to be able to stay up, move my gloves, my body with it, have a controlled slide. Otherwise, you're going to be fish out of water and be relying on whatever's on the ice left. Don't go to the point that it's really hurting. You want to find that median zone where it hurts, but it's a good hurt. You'll find out what I mean if you ever try it. So for this next one, I'm going to go into the hips a bit more, but first one will seem like a quad stretch, but it's going to help your knees and your hips. It's going to stretch out the lower part of your quads here, which is going to give you more freedom in your knee. It's not going to be all stiff, less room for injury, and you're going to feel it in your hips as well. So you're going to get a yoga mat for this, by the way. This hurts my knees already. I don't have mine with me. So You're gonna go knees, toes flat, and sink back into that as far as you can. If you can't get all the way down, then you could put a yoga block, towels, mats, hoodie, anything like that under here to prop you up. And just sit into that. Now again, like I said, use a yoga block because I don't want to be going like this trying to get all the way down. I want to keep good posture. Now, if this isn't enough of a stretch for you, I like to go back and kind of just walk it back lightly and go as far back as I can, keeping my knees in the same spot I started. I got wide there, so you know I cheated that. And you're going to feel that in your quads, but you're also going to start feeling in your hips, especially if you do get to the point where you can lean back. So for these next ones, we're going to go a lot more into the hips and ankles, which something you might not think about, but your ankles are doing a lot of work. Like there, you want to stay on the balls of your toes, right? But if you want to get lower, you got to have ankle mobility. Just flat out, nothing else to say about that. But so, you're going to get in a position, knees each about 90 degrees, about width of my hips. The first one, you're going to keep your toe planted into the ground and just lean forward on it. Again, I want to keep good posture in my back, be able to keep my shoulders back, and don't let this heel lift the ground. If you hit the point where it's lifting, then that's your give point, and you're going to stretch out wherever that is until you can't go any further. I like to keep my hands on my hips, that way I know that my hips are facing the right direction because I want to keep squared up in front of me as much as I can. Now, after you're done that one, you can transition straight into basically just let your toe relax, unplant from the ground back there. And now I'm going to put my hands on the ground and lean into that stretch a lot more. And what you'll notice there, the first one you'll feel right here. The second one you'll feel all around your hip and groin as well. Now, what's important to note, when I go down forward, I don't want to immediately just boom, open my hips, go down as far as I can. You're going to open up a bit naturally as you're going to go to the side, but I want to think about keeping this knee straight forward still. So even though, as you're going to see, I'm going to open up, I want this and my knee to not move either way, only my body. And so when I go down, I'm going to sink into it as far as I can, keeping my heel on the ground and trying to keep my knee in that same spot. Because otherwise, if you're going like that, you're cheating yourself, you're not feeling it as much. So these next ones, they're my favorite because I get to lay on the ground. And so it's going to be, again, this is going to be your hips. This time the outsides of your hips and your glutes, butt cheeks. And so first one, I like to just give myself a little bit of a stretch on these ones. All of these though, you're going to make sure that your shoulders stay flat. Because again, otherwise you're going to be cheating the stretch. And if you can't do it to a super high range of motion, that's fine. This is how you're going to get more flexible. And so, first part, you're going to think of like hugging your knees. And then I'm going to go to one side with both my knees. As I do so, I'm going to turn my head the opposite direction, kind of looking at my other arm. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to take my bottom leg here and place it over this knee and just push down on that knee. And you should feel it all right through here, the back of your hips and into your butt cheeks. Now, as I do it, you can even see my knee doesn't hit the ground, but my shoulders are staying flat on the ground. And so the more I do this, I used to be up here doing it, but the more you do it, the lower you're going to get. And quite frankly, if your knee is able to get to the ground, you're pretty damn flexible. Now from that, I'm going to just bring my foot up to about, not too far, a comfortable distance. I'm going to think of pushing this knee out, and that's going to, once again, get this part of your groin, the front part of your hips. And if you can't get a good enough stretch, if your knee's stuck like right here, I had it when I had a knee injury, you can just push on this knee and feel it even more in there. Hold that for however long, and then just right from there, just hand under here, grabbing my knee at my shin and just pulling up. This one's going to get more of your hamstrings, but hips, hamstrings, they all go together. That being said, I'll just go straight into the other ones on the ground, which mostly hamstrings, but this first one will get your groin. The butterfly stretch. I'm sure most of you guys have done it at some point in your life. Just feet together. Now butterfly, my knees can't get to the ground, but you should feel that right in here again. Hold that. For the most part, you want to just be thinking of driving your knees towards the ground. And right from that, I can just extend, toe touches. If you can't get there, get as far as you can. And I hold that. And then right from there, I go second hand there and try and I just messed it up there. You see my foot came in. What I want to try and do is keep my foot straight and not let it collapse in. Grab my foot like that and pull myself down as far as I can go. And hold that. That's going to get the back of your knee, hamstring. I think it's worth noting too that your hamstrings are also very important, because your hips, hamstrings, glutes, all of that, they all connect to your pelvis. So that being said, your hamstrings are part of your hips. Your glutes are part of your hips. Your groin is part of your hips. They all are related, they're just different parts. And so anything that runs from my knee up to my hips is something that you want to stretch out. I want to stretch out because it's going to protect it all the way around from front to back. So I hope you guys got something out of this video. That's something. Hold each one for 10 to 20 seconds if you really feel ambitious, more. And it's going to help you. It's helped me. It's stuff I've been taught by other coaches. Standardized. It's pretty standard stuff. And if you liked it, let me know other things you guys might want to see. If you didn't like it, you can let me know too.